Hi guys, it's Chad here from CNR Reviews. We got two great subcompact carry guns here, and some of you may be familiar with these. This is the Sig P238 duotone. Really nice gun. It is a 380, and we have the Smith&Wesson M&P Shield. Some of you are going to say, well, that is not a fair comparison because this guy's a 9mm. And I would have to say, no, that's wrong. Actually, it is a great comparison, because if you're in the market for either one of these, and maybe you've been looking at the Sig, you want to kind of compare it to the Smith&Wesson 9mm. You want to kind of weigh the size and the differences and stuff, and then determine which one you want to buy. This is exactly what we're trying to do for you. What we're going to do is talk about some real quick features that both of them have, and then we're going to go into the size comparison. Then we'll talk about price, because price on these guys is there's a big difference between them. Let's quickly talk about the Sig. It is based upon a 1911. You have the exterior safety here. When it's engaged, nothing's in the chamber. It actually locks the slide. The whole idea of having that 1911 safety is something that you're going to want to make sure that you take this gun to the range and you want to practice, because a lot of times safeties, a lot of people don't like safeties, but when you have such a short single action trigger pull, a safety is kind of important, because if you didn't have that safety, this could easily catch on something in your pants or snag something, and you're gonna discharge the firearm. So this gun is intended to be carried in condition 1 with the hammer cocked and the safety engaged, round in chamber. So other than that, it's a pretty basic gun. It's basically just like all 1911s. Basically, you have that exterior safety. That's all. You have a slide lock, slide release, and this is designed as a slide release. You do have night sights on this. They're Sig night sights, green in front, green in rear, and you know, they're awesome. I'm really happy that Sig puts them on the majority of their guns. I've only seen a couple of the guns that don't have them. Other than that, this gun has got probably close to 450 to 500 rounds through it now. It has been fantastic. Comes with a metal guide rod, as you guys can see. And this, I would consider, I'm actually calling them ultra carries, because they are so tiny that they can go into your pocket, even your pants pocket, jeans pocket, and you cannot see them. They don't print much, and they melt away. You kind of forget them. This gun is my spring and summer carry gun when I'm not wearing a jacket and I'm wearing cargo pants or jeans or shorts. This will fit right into those pockets, no problem. So other than that, that's the Sig. It does come with a 6-round magazine. This is the extended magazine. This is a 7-rounder with an extension on there, and as you can see, if you have that extension, you can actually put all 3 fingers on there. The one that comes standard on the Sig is just a little flat base plate, little 6-rounder, and you'd have to shoot the gun like that. Now, with the low recoil from the 380, that is not an issue whatsoever. I enjoy shooting it with either one of these mags in, and it's fantastic. Let's quickly talk about the Smith&Wesson M&P Shield. This guy also has an exterior safety, and up is for safe, down is for fire. And what the safety does, it locks the trigger. So as you can see, you can't pull that trigger. Without the safety, you can actually engage the trigger. We'll show you trigger pull on this guy, because this is going to be a determination of whether or not you want to use the safety or not. As you can see, the trigger pull, you have a little bit of take up, and then it breaks really nice and clean. It's about a 6.5 pound pull. Bullet indicator up at the top, which I actually forgot to mention that on the Sig too. It has one on the side here, the chamber. You can see the casing, but a nice bullet indicator at the top. It comes with really nice full size sights, combat sights. Now, it does state in the manual that the rear sight is not adjustable, even though it looks like it is. That you want to instead go ahead and push the front sight. That's what they want you to do. Other than that, takedown's real simple. It is a basic semi-auto setup, so when you remove the gun, you have the barrel and spring just like the Sig. and just like the majority of semi-autos. It does come with a, actually 2 magazines. First one is a flat base plate, 7-rounder, fits flush with the handle, as you can see. You can almost put 3 fingers on it, and I've carried this gun with that, and it's been perfect. I've also carried it with the extended base plate. Now that one you can put full 3 fingers. And you know what? Either way you decide to carry this gun, it's going to work. It's not an issue. I intend to carry this usually in my jacket. And like I said, either way, it just fades away in your pocket. You can also carry it on your hip. And if you're going to do that, you know, if you want that extra round, great. The biggest difference between these two is going to be polymer. This is a polymer frame gun. So it's got a stainless slide, but it's plastic here, basically. And you know what? Is that an issue? All that does is cut down on the weight of this gun. Now, this gun is, again, I don't like to tell you guys unloaded weights of guns because you don't carry them unloaded, but Smith & Wesson is saying 19 ounces. This Sig fully loaded runs 15.5 to 16 ounces, and it's an all-metal gun. Not only do you have the nice metal slide, you also have a nice alloy frame. It is super light still, though, and you can definitely pocket carry it. So if you enjoy having an all-metal gun and you want the 380, and you think the 380 is going to be sufficient, which, as a defensive round, if anybody tries to tell you 380 is not good, let them stand in front of you and let them shoot them in the face or shoot them in the stomach. You know what? It's going to do its damage. It is not going to be intended to shoot from 50 yards away. It is intended as a close quarters round. Even the 9mm round, same thing. It's intended as a close quarters round. It is not intended to be shot at 50 yards with a little tiny gun like this. So, can you shoot at 50 yards? Yeah, you can. You can shoot them at 100 yards. That's why they have the little carbines and stuff. But it's intended as a close quarters round. Other than that, guys, let's look at some dimensions. We'll just hold these guys up so you can see them. As far as width goes, they're actually pretty similar. The Sig is pretty thick, even when you compare it to like the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. The Sig has got some thickness, plus you got to add on the slide release and the safety, which adds a little bit as well. And I'd almost have to say the Sig, because of those, is getting a little bit thicker than the M&P. As far as slide length goes, if we put the beaver tail and the butt of the M&P together, there you go. You can see the Sig is going to be a little bit shorter, and we're talking fingernail width, so probably 1/2 inch. If you look at the height of the gun, because I have the extended base plate in the Sig, I'll throw the extended into the M&P just to be fair. As you can see, there's a little bit of height difference as well. M&P is just a little bit taller. Now, if I throw that flat base plate into the Sig is going to be significantly shorter. If I keep it and I throw the flat one in to the M&P, they're almost identical. So, other than that, the other big difference to kind of look, I don't know if you guys can really see, the trigger guards are way smaller on the Sig. Part of that's because it's a single action and the trigger actually sits at the rear of the trigger guard. As you can see with the M&P, the trigger sits almost in the middle of the trigger guard. So, other than that, guys, let's talk about price real quick. Price on these guns is really important because the Sig I've seen go as high as $700, and that's a lot of money. I paid $409 for this gun, and it came with a little laser and stuff. I happened to get it on a sale. I don't think I'm ever going to find this gun for that price again, and if I do, it's pure luck. It was a great deal, and I could not pass it up. It's one of those deals, buy it when you see it, because you're going to kick yourself later if you don't. Phenomenal gun for the price, for $410. But I've seen the same setup go anywhere between $550 and $600. Now, this guy I picked up for $370. Now, this is a 9mm. You're getting a little bit more capacity, but you're also getting a bigger weapon, and it's also a little bit heavier. So you really have to weigh your options. Don't go over $450. That's the MSRP on this gun, and Cabela's is selling it for that price. You can find it at your little local gun shops, which is where I found this for $370. It's a screaming deal. I think that's a fair price. And so it all comes down to which one do you want? Do you want to sacrifice a little bit of speed on your round? Go with the 380, it's a little bit more concealable. Do you want that extra capacity with a little higher velocity round that's going to penetrate further? Go with the Smith & Wesson M&P. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please subscribe. If you have any questions at all about either one of these guns, feel free to ask. Look forward to the review coming out on this gun soon. We're also going to have some range testing, and we're going to do some rapid fires. And we also have a ton of other comparisons that we're doing with the Shield right now, because it is a really popular gun out in the market. And other than that, this is Chad from C&R Reviews. We got the Sig P238. It's a great carry option. Smith & Wesson M&P 9 Shield. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a good day.